Hello gamer friends! Today you're going to learn the tabletop version of the popular computer game World of Tanks. The Modern Table Gamer channel gets your games to the table so you can play more and burn your rule book.
Did he say burn my rule book?
Well, use it for reference then. You get a thorough rules understanding before you play, and you get a thorough rules understanding before you might pay. World of Tanks is a deck building game that lets you command a force of troops, equipment, and vehicles, where your goal is to prove your valor by collecting more medals than your opponents. You earn 1 medal for each vehicle of your opponents you destroy, 3 medals for each opponent's base you take down, and 5 medals for each achievement you obtain. The game ends when any one of the 4 single medal piles is empty, or when one of the players loses all 3 of their bases. For those who don't know how a deck building game works, you start with a limited number of cards in your deck. In this game, a total of 6. You have 4 engineers, 1 technician, and 1 volunteer. As the game progresses, you use your cards to either buy more cards, which gets added to your deck, or use your cards effectively to work with your strategy within the game. All the cards in your deck will continue to get recycled over and over throughout the game. The way this works is if there is ever a time where you need to draw a card and your draw pile is empty, you just shuffle your discard pile to make a new draw pile and then continue to draw. Make 4 medal piles that contain both the 1 and 2 value medals. Then shuffle all the achievement cards, draw and lay out 1 more than the total number of players. In this case, we're going to lay out 5 because we're playing with 4. The rest of the achievements then go back in the box and won't be used for the game. Next, shuffle the 100 vehicle cards to make the vehicle deck, and then lay out 4 vehicles to make what's called the reserve. Leave space for a discard pile, and then place the graveyard marking card a bit away from this discard pile. Each player starts with a deck of 6 cards that contains 4 engineers, 1 technician, and 1 volunteer. This makes up his or her draw pile, called the garage. Then each player takes 3 bases and places them in front of him or herself, and if unfamiliar with the special abilities, take a memo card for a reminder of what they all do. Randomly decide who will be the first player and give them the first player card. Each player then draws 3 cards from his or her deck, and the first player is ready to start the game. When you take a turn in this game, it is divided in 3 phases. Phase 1 is where you repair damage to vehicles and bases by rotating them back to the vertical position. Phase 2, play the cards from your hand in one of 4 ways. You can use the card's resources, you can defend a base by first using the card's ability, you can assault an opponent's vehicles or bases, or you can do nothing. Phase 3 of your turn is where you replenish the reserve by discarding the farthest card away from the draw pile, moving the other 3 cards away from the draw pile, and then draw a new card. At the very end of your turn, you draw 3 new cards. Turns progress until the turn where either one of 4 single medal decks is empty, which are the 9 single medal cards, or a player has no more bases. When this happens, play continues until the player to the right of the starting player finishes his turn. Let's start by looking at how to use the resources to buy a card from the reserve. You can normally only buy one card from the reserve per turn. You do this by discarding one or more cards just for the resource value printed on the card, and add up the resources to equal or exceed the cost of the card in the reserve. Then you take the vehicle from the reserve and add it to your depot or discard pile. Replenish this empty space in the reserve by sliding the cards of the reserve away from the vehicle deck and draw a new card out to the reserve. If there is a reserve card with a cost of 0, you still have to use a card with a resource value by discarding it to the depot to obtain the 0 cost card from the reserve. When you use a card for its special ability, you have the choice of activating and resolving each special ability one by one or not activating these abilities. And then if the card has an armor value of a 1 or a 2, this card must be placed on one of your bases that is unprotected. If all of your bases have vehicles protecting them, then replace one of them with this new card and place the removed vehicle in your discard pile. The advantage to having a base protected with a vehicle is that the base can't be attacked until the vehicle is first removed. If you use an ability that is on a card with an armor of 0, then this card goes to the depot after activating its ability. Some cards have no ability to activate. In this case, the card would immediately defend one of your bases. When you activate special abilities, these are abilities that let you break or stretch the rules of the game. It's time to learn these icons and see what you can do. If you choose to attack opponents' vehicles or bases, you can attack with one vehicle card or more than one vehicle card, but only if the cards are all from the same country. Announce all of your vehicles involved with the assault before your assault, and announce the target for the first vehicle and resolve that before attacking with the next vehicle. Each vehicle can attack either the same target or different targets, even from different opponents. To resolve an attack, if the power of the attacker equals or exceeds the armor value of the defending vehicle, you destroy the vehicle. Your vehicle is put in your depot, and the opponent's vehicle is put in his or her depot, not yours. If the power is not enough to destroy the vehicle, you damage the vehicle by rotating it 90 degrees. The next assault on that vehicle would destroy the vehicle. Then at the end of your turn, you get one medal matching the country of your force for each vehicle you destroyed. If you destroyed 2 vehicles on your turn, take a 2 medal card. If you attack a base that is unprotected or newly unprotected, you damage the base with the first attack by rotating it 90 degrees. Your attacking vehicle goes to your depot as normal, and then if you can attack it a second time, or another opponent could attack it again, the second attack would destroy the base. This base then goes to the attacker's depot, and they would score this at the end of the game. Bases are cards that do nothing for you until you add up the medals to determine the winner at the end of the game. One exception to this is if you have a heavy tank, they can destroy the base with one hit. We're getting to know this game pretty well by now, but don't forget the bigger picture: achievements. These are cards that are awarded to the player who qualifies the best for each achievement. They are worth 5 medals each, so don't forget about them, because without them, your chances of winning are minimal. If more than one player is tied for the achievement at the end of the game, then no one is awarded the achievement. Use the rulebook as reference for the achievements if you forget. If you are a publisher and would like to contact us about quality rules tutorials, contact me at moderntablegamer@gmail.com. And as usual, if you're not playing games at least once a week, the planets won't align and we'll never achieve world peace.